Good day viewers, welcome to another edition of the Daily Strange Stories. I'm John Brown. I hope you've had a productive and fulfilling week. Now, let's dive into the strange and unusual. Our lead story for today. General Mkhwanazi nails Katiso Molefe again, exposes his plan to evade jail for DJ Sumbody's murder. As the ongoing battle against organized crime gets more dangerous, General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi stands as a key figure, leading the charge through his role as the national convener of the Political Killings Task Team. This team, under his oversight, has been making significant moves in recent investigations, and one of the most talked about cases involves the arrest of businessman Katiso Molefe, accused of masterminding the murder of popular music producer Oupa John Sefoka, better known as DJ Sumbody. General Mkhwanazi, who also serves as the police commissioner for KwaZulu-Natal province, has become a symbol of determination for many South Africans, admired for his bold stance against corruption and the influence of powerful figures in Gauteng's business and underworld scenes.
Safety of South Africans is in jeopardy. At least Mkhwanazi still has a firearm. He still has a men and women that he works with. He can still somehow protect himself. There are men and women out there that are vulnerable. They've got no one to protect. So we can't be worried about our own safety. We must worry about the safety of the citizens. So ours is to go out there and lay our life to protect them. That is my only concern right now.
His leadership has brought to light shocking details in this case, including revelations about Molefe's alleged plans to escape to Hong Kong, highlighting the high stakes and the clever tactics suspects sometimes use to evade justice. This story unfolds in real time, with courtrooms buzzing and investigations pressing forward. Just recently, General Mkhwanazi's task team rearrested Molefe, linking him not only to DJ Sumbody's death but also to other high-profile killings. The authorities have publicly shared insights from the investigations, pointing out how Molefe, after being released on bail in a separate murder case, showed signs of preparing to flee the country. Sources close to the probe indicate that Molefe mentioned a business trip to Hong Kong right around the time authorities were closing in, almost slipping away if not for the timely intervention of General Mkhwanazi's watchful team. This detail, uncovered by the Political Killings Task Team, paints a picture of a man with international connections, ready to abandon his ties in South Africa to avoid facing the charges piling up against him. DJ Sumbody's murder, where he was shot 48 times, happened on November 20, 2022, at the corner of Woodmead and Woodland Drives in Sandton, a bustling area in Johannesburg. He was traveling with his two bodyguards, Sibusiso Mokoena and Sandile Mieza, when they were targeted in a calculated attack. All three lost their lives in the incident, which police now connect to a larger web of premeditated hits orchestrated by Molefe and his alleged accomplices. The task team, guided by General Mkhwanazi, has pieced together evidence showing that Molefe acted as the mastermind, directing the operation from behind the scenes.
On the 6th of December 2024, the task team visited the premises of the two of the high-profile syndicate, of which one, Mr. Katiso Molefe, was arrested for the murder of Mr. Swart of QTech. On the 30th December 2024, the ballistic expert issued a ballistic report which linked these firearms not only with the murder of Mr. Swart, but these firearms were linked with a number of high-profile cases. And these cases include very high-profile South African artists that were murdered in Gauteng, which occurred dating back as far as 2021.
Cell phone records play a crucial role here, revealing multiple attempts by the suspected gunman to contact Molefe immediately after the shooting, suggesting coordination and instructions flowing from him. Molefe faces charges alongside three other men, Michael Puletau, aged 55, Musa Gegana, aged 35, and Tieko Floyd Mabusela, aged 47. These individuals are accused of carrying out the actual shootings, but they have chosen not to apply for bail, remaining in custody as the case progresses. The charges include 3 counts of murder for the deaths of DJ Sumbody, Mokoena, and Mieza, along with 2 counts of unlawful possession of a firearm and 1 count of unlawful possession of ammunition. National Police spokesperson Brigadier Atsenda Mate has explained that the firearms seized from Tau, Gegana, and Mabusela during their arrests, an AK-47 and 3 pistols, linked directly to this crime and several others, tying together a pattern of targeted killings.
The SAPS Political Killings Task Team, together with Gauteng Organized Crime, they are continuing with the work. So for now, previously I had indicated that we are investigating about 10 high-profile cases where these firearms are being linked to. So now we are at number 4. We are positively linking the AK-47 to the murder of DJ Vintos, Don Tindleni, DJ Sumbody, his 2 bodyguards, Katiso Molefe, as well as Amand Swart.
Expanding the scope, the same group is accused in the murder of Hector Buthelezi, known as DJ Vintos, who was shot outside a nightclub in Orlando East, Soweto, in March 2022. Unknown assailants in a BMW X3 carried out that attack, and ballistic evidence confirms the weapons match those used in DJ Sumbody's case. Another linked incident involves the death of Don Tindleni, shot in March 2023 on the N1 highway near the M17 off-ramp while driving his BMW 5 Series. Police continue to search for the mastermind in Tindleni's case, but the firearms connection strengthens the belief that these events form part of a coordinated network under Molefe's influence. The most recent addition to the charges came with the April 2024 murder of Amand Swart, a Vaal engineer working for Q-Tech Engineering Company in Vereeniging. Swart was killed outside his workplace in what authorities describe as a mistaken hit. The gunman reportedly targeted him thinking he was a whistleblower from the same company. This error underscores the precision and the risks involved in these operations, where innocent lives get caught in the crossfire of larger schemes. Molefe was first arrested in December 2024 for Swart's murder, and the task team's work under General Mkhwanazi has since connected all these dots, revealing a trail of firearms linked to at least 10 high-profile cases of murder and attempted murder. Court proceedings have been intense, particularly around Molefe's repeated attempts to secure bail.
It should be kept in mind that I'm already 61 years of age and therefore have a proven record in this regard, namely absence of any criminal record relating to any violent crime.
In the Swart case, he initially faced denial at the Vereeniging Regional Court in March 2025, where the magistrate saw him as a high risk for skipping trial. However, Molefe appealed to the Gauteng High Court in Pretoria, and acting Judge President Aubrey Letwaba granted him 100,000 rand bail on June 27, 2025.
Having considered all the submissions that were made by both counsel, I make the following order. The applicant is released on bail.
Letwaba's decision considered Molefe's business interests, including a major development project in Welcome that could suffer from his incarceration. The judge noted Molefe's monthly drawings of about 200,000 rand and properties valued at 4 million rand, concluding that his ties to South Africa made flight unlikely. Yet, this ruling has sparked controversy, with suspicions arising that Letwaba may have overlooked key risks, such as Molefe's immediate efforts to retrieve his passport for international travel. General Mkhwanazi, in his July 6, 2025, national briefing, highlighted concerns about judiciary capture by Gauteng businessmen like Molefe, implying that decisions like this one could be influenced by hidden networks aiming to protect powerful figures.
And I can confirm before the South Africans today that the investigation which these members were involved with in Gauteng has unmasked the syndicate. And this syndicate involves, amongst others, politicians who are currently serving in Parliament. The law enforcement officers include the members of the South African Police Service, the Metro Police, and Correctional Services. They include prosecutors in Gauteng province, the judiciary, and all these are controlled by the drug cartel as well as business people in that province of Gauteng. On the 26th of June 2025, the accused, Katiso Molefe, who was arrested by the very task team, was granted bail. Guess that one went under the radar. The work of the organized crime in Gauteng, supported by the political killings task team, has indeed been compromised.
Following his release in the Swart case, Molefe wasted no time in trying to get his passport back, contacting the investigating officer through his lawyer. The officer refused, citing bail conditions that required surrendering travel documents. Two independent sources tipped off investigators that Molefe planned to head to Hong Kong, a detail that General Mkhwanazi's task team has emphasized as evidence of his flight risk. This came after Molefe told an arresting officer he was on his way to a business trip there, narrowly missing his chance to leave.
It is submitted that the applicant is not playing open card with SARS, with either SAR or with this honorable court. 16. The applicant is a flight risk. On his own version, he was about to leave for Hong Kong in December. It is respectfully submitted that this is a reason why his lawyer conducted Sergeant Mbele to get his passport back in July 2025 after he received bail on appeal.
Such actions align with his history. In 2004, he traveled to the United Kingdom using a fraudulent Lesotho passport under the name David Tebogo, where he faced conviction for possession of cannabis. The state points to this as proof of his willingness to use deception to cross borders, arguing it shows he cannot be trusted on bail. In the current bail application at the Alexandra Magistrates Court, which began on August 6, 2024, and continued through hearings, the state has strongly opposed Molefe's release. Prosecutor Ketogwake Ngubane read from the investigating officer's affidavit, detailing Molefe's 115 international trips in 2004 alone and his recent attempt to change his long-held cell phone number just one day after key evidence emerged in the Swart case. This sudden switch raises fears of evidence tampering, especially since witnesses are already in hiding and investigators require 24-hour protection. The state describes Molefe as someone with little regard for human life, warning that his freedom could endanger those set to testify and potentially stir public unrest, though his previous release did not lead to such issues. On the defense side, advocate Michael Helens has presented Molefe's affidavit, where he commits to standing trial and denies any plans to flee or interfere. Molefe claims he was at home when arrested on July 21, 2025, and points to his month on bail without violations as proof of his reliability. He argues his business, family, and community ties in Gauteng, along with substantial assets, make absconding improbable. Helens dismisses the state's case as weak, based on circumstantial evidence like cell phone pings, and questions why Molefe would run from charges he believes he can beat.
He has shown overwhelmingly powerful personal circumstances, and the fact that he's not a flight risk, and the fact that he could pay bail, can pay bail, and didn't run away. Let's weigh it against what the strength of the case is, state's case is. It's a couple of alleged phone calls where the state interpret the phone calls or the WhatsApp messages as K means Mr. Molefe, Katiso Molefe, or KT, or Fafa, and none of those are sustainably linked to him. If you take away those, what is there? He knows Tau. Tau knows Mabusela. That's it. Where is their strength in the state's case, overpowering his personal circumstances and not elevating his circumstances to the level of exceptional circumstances? I've known Tau since I was in school in Soweto. I'm aware that he's a member of the South African Police Services. He's stationed at Johannesburg Central Police Station. I was all the more popular amongst my friends, including Tau, because of the fact that I had financial means to finance our social activities. There's nothing untoward with the fact that we would call each other quite often. Tau also on occasion assisted me with security issues relating to people suspected of watching my house in Winchester Hills and also in Sandhurst. Tau would also from time to time, because of financial needs, make loans from me, which often led to it being written off by me. There could be a number of reasons as to why Tau was attempting to contact me. The mere fact that Tau attempted to contact me does not mean that he did so because I'm involved in the murder of Oupa John Sefoka.
Regarding the passport, Molefe explains he only wanted to know its whereabouts, as he had given it to a former lover and was unaware police held it. He chose not to pursue an urgent application for its return, despite legal advice. The court has seen postponements, with Magistrate Renier Boshoff remanding the matter to August 15, 2025, after the defense requested time to respond to new affidavit details not in the initial J50 form. Judgment on bail is now set for August 20, 2025, leaving Molefe in custody at Gosimampuru Correctional Center in Pretoria. The state has even lodged a complaint with the Director of Public Prosecutions about Letwaba's earlier bail grant, seeking a review and possible appeal, reflecting ongoing tensions within the justice system. Adding layers to this saga are connections to other figures. During Molefe's arrest for Swart's murder in December 2024, businessman Malcolm X arrived at the scene, prompted by a call from Molefe's brother and a client. X suspected the officers might be imposters, as they refused to identify themselves, leading him to contact retired Hawks Head Lieutenant General Godfrey Lebeya. Lebeya confirmed no Hawks team was dispatched and sent verification, but later referred to X as a police informant in a radio interview, a label X vehemently denies. X demands a retraction, threatening legal action, insisting his communications with Lebeya since 2023 were not about providing information but other matters he cannot disclose.
I would like to clarify it in this fashion. On the 6th of December 2024, we were at Deep Endyberg there in Pretoria for our annual award ceremony of the DPCI. That is when I received a call from somebody else that at some stage we might mention the name, but at this stage I will not mention the name. This individual said that there are people at a house of somebody else who is his friend, and these people claim that they are members of the Hawks and they have been sent by me to go to that particular address. So that surprised me. I haven't consulted with the person to check as to whether he is ready to be mentioned in public platform. I believe that if the situation reach a stage where the commission of inquiry is set up, that individual will be able to come forward. For I know the name, I will be able to divulge that.
General, there are people here who claim they are Hawks officials and they were sent here by you. Then he said, wait, today? I said, yes, today. Then he said, look, allow me to verify this. Then I don't know who he called. But after having spoken to someone or some people, he called back and said, please send me the address of the place. I did. I directed him. Then he said, okay, this needs to be verified because I didn't send anybody.
This incident drew mention in General Mkhwanazi's explosive July 6, 2024 briefing, where he alleged broader infiltration of the criminal justice system by criminals, naming Molefe and hinting at networks involving informants and influential contacts. Further complications arose with Patriotic Alliance Deputy Leader Kenny Gunene, who was present at Molefe's house during a recent arrest and subsequently faced suspension from his party, leading to his resignation as a Johannesburg city councillor. Gunene's involvement underscores the tangled web of politics, business, and crime in Gauteng, where alliances can shift quickly under scrutiny.
I think if you look at my online newspaper, it hasn't been that active. And I decided to put together some young people that can then run with it, that are interested in the media space. And to resuscitate it, obviously, and in its own tradition, Africa News Global has always focused on exclusive stories. So they wanted to do an exclusive story, and Mr. Molefe was a person where there was an opportunity to do a story with him. Remember that he has not spoken publicly since his arrest and whilst he was on bail. And so I facilitated with somebody that I know that knows Mr. Molefe. And Mr. Molefe agreed to do the interview and the meeting was facilitated. I am handing the platform as the owner to these young people because I don't have time for it with the work that I'm doing in the city. And but these matters are very sensitive. So the person that facilitated said, you have to bring the journalist, which I did. He sent me the address, and we followed that address. In fact, he sent me the first address, and then he said, no, don't use this one, use this one. It was just a question of street or road or something. So we used the address, we got there. We drove in. As we're in the driveway, standing, I don't know if it's the son or one of the boys, came running and saying, the police are kicking the gate. And Mr. Molefe came out and they said, no, open the gate. Before we could even go in the house or sit wherever we were going, the journalist will do an interview. Then the police arrived, rifles, Casper, V-classes, and they then asked who is the owner of the house. Mr. Molefe said, it's me. And then they handcuffed him.
These events have prompted national attention, leading to the formation of an ad hoc committee in Parliament to investigate General Mkhwanazi's claims of criminal infiltration in the justice system. The committee, chaired by Soviet Lekanyane, met recently to set terms of reference, with proposals from parties like the ANC suggesting tight control over witness questioning and sequencing. The ANC wants the chairperson to limit question times and stop irrelevant queries, while evidence from witnesses would be presented through Parliament's legal services. Other parties, such as the EFF and DA, push for inviting witnesses, including those in custody, to submit sworn statements and appear, with powers to subpoena if needed. The MK party cautions against pre-approving witness lists too rigidly, emphasizing transparency. All agree on urgency, with further deliberations planned, potentially starting investigative work soon. This committee could uncover more about alleged captures, including suspicions around figures like Judge Letwaba and businessmen like Molefe. General Mkhwanazi's role remains central as his task team continues to build the case against Molefe, exposing plans like the Hong Kong escape attempt and connecting the dots across multiple murders. His July 6, 2025 briefing has rallied public support, with many South Africans seeing him as a beacon against corruption in police and state structures. The investigations reveal how firearms circulate in these networks, linking crimes from Soweto nightclubs to Johannesburg highways and Vereeniging workplaces. Molefe's defense portrays him as a committed businessman with no intent to flee, but the state's evidence paints a different picture, one of a calculated operator with a history of evasion. As this case heads toward judgment, it highlights the challenges in South Africa's fight for justice, where bail decisions, witness fears, and international flight risks keep the tension high. The task team's persistence, led by General Mkhwanazi, ensures that details like Molefe's passport requests and cell phone changes do not go unnoticed, building a comprehensive picture for the courts. Thanks for watching this news bulletin. Please share your opinion in the comments section. We would be glad to read and respond to your comments. Let's meet again tomorrow in our next strange story. Wishing you an exciting and adventurous weekend.